Okay, so when you're planning your project, there are some things that are okay or wow projects and some that are like, yeah, not quite yet, okay? So when you're looking over here, it says, what is a wow project? It is something that you think about, you've spent time on, you've fixed or improved, which honestly, you should be doing that all the time, that you're proud of, ready for display, that you've gotten feedback on. Don't forget, you can ask people around you, what do you think about this? What has come from the heart, has your name on it, because you need to claim it. What can be used for an art reflection, the art show, what shows your growth as an artist? Where space has been thoroughly used, that means you've used all the space, okay? Whether it's a little empty, and that's fine, but you've put some details in everywhere, okay? Sturdy, well balanced, your 3D objects, basically not falling apart, okay? And covers all the skills and requirements. That one's an important one. Now, what is not, all right? Now here's the thing. Art is a lot of fun. Trust me, I made a career of it, okay? But honestly, some things are great for playing and some things are saying, hey, this is my final piece, I want to display it. These things are not quite displayable just yet, okay? So a quick experiment, you're just playing around. Splatter paint, no, okay? Unless you're Jackson Pollock, you cannot make a project of this, okay? Something with smudges, rips, or tears. Please don't give me stuff that's disgusting looking because you didn't take care of it, okay? Something to do with, something with too much empty space, okay? Don't give me a dot in the middle of the picture, not quite good. A collage with no focus, all right? Kind of those ones that have like things all over the place. 3D that looks sloppy and falls apart. A trace drawing. A photocopy glued to a paper. Okay, so I know that we do digital, but you could do some stuff with it. You can actually get a little bit more exciting and maybe create something from that, okay? And a fan collage. That's basically where everything is all the same, like everything is all like Pokemon or something. I love Pokemon, but honestly, I don't need to see a million of them in one collage, okay? So remember, playing with art media is fun, but not a wow project yet. So when you are working with your project, you gotta think, is this worthy of being called a finished project, or is it just you playing around? Okay, so how does your work compare? All right, so what am I looking for? What do I want from you as a project? Now, as we can kind of see from these little images on the bottom one without the bun, with the bun, with nothing in it, that's like our base. That is like your paper. I've given you a paper and you pretty much didn't do much with it. Then as you move up, you add a few more details. And it's like, okay, that's good, but really I'm looking for more. All right, now the nice job, that one with the smiley face, all right, that's the, all right, I've done the requirements. I've given, every, little bit of ounce to just do the bare minimum. Perfect, wonderful. If you're happy with the B, so am I. I'm ecstatic with the B, all right? Then we've got the top one. This is what I kind of think of, you've gone above and beyond. You've done the requirements. Not only are they good, they're amazing. You've pulled in other things that you've done. You've checked out different compositional guidelines. It's just gone above and beyond, okay? So this is what I would like you to kind of look at when you're creating your project. You say, okay, where would I be placing my artwork? Is it not really done? I just did what was expected, or did I go above and beyond? All right, so when you actually plan out your project, okay, compositional guidelines, here are great tips, okay? Now, obviously, as you can see from here on the top, all the way down, all right? The ones on the bottom, by the way, are great tips that you should just check out anyway, all right? As you can see, these on the bottom are things that I don't expect middle school kids to be doing, okay? So please, do not give me blue clouds. You might want to think about that. Why should there not be blue clouds? Okay, and then there's some great things. Also, I know the ones on the bottom, those big birds, birds shouldn't be that big, okay? And stick figures, we don't do them anymore, okay? So check these out on the bottom. The top ones are great ways on how to lay out your projects, okay? So I'm actually zoom in a little bit right here. All right, so check out these. They actually give you ways to set up your project, okay? And make them a little bit more interesting than just if you put them on the actual paper, okay? So even like this one tells you yes and no. It's pretty cool, all right? We have up here some great tips as well. All right, so when you're planning out your project, any project, okay, come over, check this out. Get an idea, because as I was saying once before, I remember telling you, don't copy someone's project. Come up with your own, okay, your own version. Honestly, taking and changing the composition up here, or even just making sure that some of these happen and some don't, because some of these are some good things and some are like, nah, don't do it, will make for a great project, okay? All right, when you start planning your project, there's a couple of things I need you to consider, okay, before you actually fill out that paper, all right? First, I would like you to consider what skills do you need to do in your project. You need to find those out, okay? Not only are they on your project tickets, okay, they're also gonna be on the board. What materials can you use and not use, okay? When developing a project, your theme. What theme are you gonna be using, okay? Remember, don't copy. There are plenty of options on how you can change it. So if you find something online, well, come up with your own version. Level of difficulty. All right, if it's too simple, maybe it's not for you. Maybe you need to find a way to actually make something a little bit harder. Craftsmanship. Craftsmanship is how clean and neat something is and how organized. Use of space. Use the entire space, okay? So I know that there are many times where you might see a picture like one like person in the side. Well, give them the background. Don't let them just sit there empty, okay? Attention to details. We are no longer in elementary school, okay? You are in middle school. Details are all about middle school, okay? And depth. Show me like distance, overlap things. Let me tell you, the world is no longer flat, okay, people? It is round, we have depth, and we have lots of exciting things with that. So when you're doing your project, when you're creating it, okay, and designing, coming up with a plan, think of all these things. So it'll make for a much better project. Okay, so I'm gonna talk about how to create using an actual theme. So the themes that you're gonna be given are above your actual panel. So I'm gonna actually pan over here. So they're up there at the top. Okay, you're gonna pick one. Now, when you pick an actual theme, so for example, let's do the word happy, as you can see here. It says moving from trite to insightful. Most of the times when people actually take a theme, they'll come up with an idea that is kind of trite, or it's lacking originality or freshness, okay, as the definition says. Now, the example of the happy face is way too simple. Don't give me something that's simple. I want the viewer to actually think about and feel and try to imagine what could this actual theme be, okay? So down here, we use the same theme, happy, okay? Notice that the young boy right here is sharing. So it gives the emotion of happy, okay? The guy is winning. The emotion of happy is there, okay? So we think beyond the simple, all right? And we want to make the viewer feel it and think about the actual thing. We don't want to give it away. It's almost like a secret. So giving that big happy face, not really that exciting, okay? Don't give your theme away. Let us think a little bit about it, okay? And that's how to work with your project options. There's a couple of them. When you're looking at your paper, what you're gonna see are 6 categories, okay? First, you're gonna see our portrait, okay? So this is what I'm looking for, a portrait or a figure. It depends on what is on your sheet, all right? If you are unsure what I'm looking for, come check this out. This is exactly what I'm looking for, okay? Not necessarily these layouts, but this is what I would like for you to actually show. Okay, granted that yes, these are some pretty professional pictures, but I know you can do just as well, okay? So we have landscapes. On your paper, it tells you exactly what I would like to see in it, so it does have requirements, but these are different landscapes, okay? Or, and better, these are different scapes, okay? Pictures of outside, okay? So we have outside, can be almost anywhere. As you can tell, like the moon, beautiful, okay? All different things. Still life. All right, so a still life is basically a drawing of something that's not going to get up and move, okay? So I'm not going to be saying, oh, let's go find a turtle and chase after it. No, if it can stand still, then it's pretty good, all right? And still lifes can come in all sorts of things. They are objects that are just sitting there. So for example, you don't have to do a boring like fruit and vegetables. You could do a pair of shoes, teacups, okay? You can do thing of crayons, all different things, okay? Now, I know that still lifes we tend to look at, all right? Now, that's gonna be observational. I'm gonna talk about that next. But a lot of this stuff can be taken just from a picture, or you can make it up, okay? But remember, when you make it up, it has to be believable too, okay? Now we have the next one is observational, okay? So observational is something you have to look at. So for example, at the top, the portrait, you're gonna have to look at someone. It's gonna be someone in front of you, okay? So we have the scape or the landscape. You're gonna look out my window or maybe do something around my room, okay? Still life, same thing. Set it up, get some lights, make it beautiful, and draw it, okay? So those are the, there we go. Those are all the observational. Now for 6th grade, okay, we have careers. The careers, you're gonna base a project based on that, okay? So, for example, we have all these in here. It says architect. Ooh, architect's spelled wrong, right? Ah, it's okay, I'll fix it for you, don't worry. Let's go with, let's see, furniture designer. Ooh, actually that's kind of neat. So your project would be based around designing furniture, okay? Or if we have cake decorator, your picture would actually include a cake, okay, and a design cake, right? So it would be around a career. So we have 7th grade. This one gets a little bit more, I guess a little bit more options here, okay? So you're gonna get inspired, all right? So that means not necessarily copying exactly everything in there. You have to be inspired by something that you see. So for example, Fauvism. Okay, they're wild colors, okay? You can kind of read a little bit about them. Maybe you might be inspired to do a picture based on like the colors or maybe the way they drew, okay? And same thing with the other ones. You are being inspired by them, okay? Maybe you might be inspired by both the things, okay? So for example, maybe steampunk, okay? Maybe you like that style, okay? You design like it, you put the colors like that. Perfect. You have been inspired by one of those, all right? 8th grade, same kind of deal with 7th grade. You were inspired by these people, okay? And they're random people. They're not like super famous. They're still alive, okay? You can be inspired by the subject that they've worked with or the style that they're using or the colors, okay? So for example, let's do the bronze halo, okay? Dragons and like that mysterious like kind of scientific look. Maybe that might inspire you to create something that would kind of go with that, okay? Same thing, either the subject matter that's in it or the colors or the style that you're doing, all right? And there's plenty of them. So when you're looking to come up with the project, the ticket, you're gonna pick which of those 6, and by the way, one of them is a free choice. You can design what you want, but remember, you have to take in consideration all of this stuff when you're designing that. Okay, so the project planning cards or your project tickets, okay? How to read them and how to fill this out, all right? So as you can see, each grade has their own set. Now we're gonna look at 8th grade. Sorry, 6th and 7th, they're pretty much all the same. So this is what you're gonna do, all right? When you are done with practice, you're actually gonna choose one of these for your projects, okay? And what's gonna happen is you're actually gonna cut one of them out, you're gonna fill it out, give it to me, I'm gonna check it, and then way over there on those boards, that's where that paper is gonna stay, okay? And when you're working on it, it will stay up, and then I'll be able to kind of come check and say, okay, I know what they're working on when you're done with the project. And by the way, when you're done, you're gonna need to come and check with me first to say, hey, am I done? Did I do all the things? And we're gonna check over some stuff. When you are officially done, I'll say, go take it down, tape it to the back of your project. And then, as I see all the tickets coming down, I'll be like, okay, we're perfect to go. So, how to fill this out? So let's say, for example, that we're doing the, you decide to do the portrait figure. Now this is just 8th grade. Remember that this is just 8th grade. So you're gonna first by obviously putting your name, your period, and class number. Project, okay, so this will be your whatever one. So if we're doing colored pencils, you're gonna tell me I'm doing colored pencils, okay? I'm doing clay, I'm doing something else. Then we have, these are your requirements. It says for this project, your choice, a portrait, oh, by the way, so this one, it says your choice. So you get to choose which one it is, all right? If there's a slash, then it's a choice. But if it's just a one, okay, that's it. You work with just that one, okay? It says a portrait showing all features or a figure showing at least 3/4 of the entire body, okay? So these are the requirements for this subject, all right? They all have that, all right? Observational, all of them, okay? Now, observational, if you do this one, you gotta tell me which one you're doing, okay? So if you're observing a still life, scape, or a portrait, you gotta circle which one it is, okay? Actually, let's stay on this one. All right, describe your project. You're gonna tell me what are you actually doing, all right? What is your project gonna look like? So you would say, I'm doing a still life, okay, of a bunch of shells, okay? Perfect. On the back side, okay? Ooh, there we go. This is where you're gonna create a little sketch. This is not a big sketch. It's just to kind of get an idea of how you're gonna lay this out. I wanna kind of almost get a preview of what is your project gonna look like. Now I know it's not gonna be exact, so it's all right. You don't have to put every little detail in it, but you do need to give me the idea of what your project's gonna look like. So you would put this in here, if it's gonna be long ways or if it's gonna be tall ways. By the way, we have landscape and we have portrait, okay? So this would get, cut out, whichever one you're doing. You will give this to me, I will check it, I'll put it up on the board, okay? Once you're done with this, I will just say, hey, go ahead and get started. That means you get to go and pick out your size paper. Remember, 9 by 12 is the smallest that you can do, okay? And then we have the 2 other sizes that are a little bit larger to work with, okay? And that's how you go about planning and using your planning card.